Isaiah Bradley lived a relatively happy life in New York City until the attack on Pearl Harbor happened. After the attack, Isaiah thought it was his duty as an American to become a soldier and help defend his country. When he became a soldier, he experienced a higher degree of racism than he did back home. He was always getting into it with the white soldiers, but eventually, his and several other black platoons were shipped off together to get special training. When the about 300 plus black soldiers got to the base they were supposed to be trained at, their superior officer disappeared and was replaced by two people we would later find out were scientists. Not long after the two scientists took over, the soldiers' loved ones started getting letters saying that they all died in battle. But this was not true. The 300 plus soldiers were all to be experimented on in an attempt to recreate the super soldier serum that gave Steve Rogers, the original Captain America, his powers. At the end of these tests, only 6 of the black soldiers survived, 5 of them having strange mutations that made them look a tad disfigured. The one the experiment worked best on was Isaiah Bradley. But the serum was still imperfect. After surviving the imperfect super soldier serum, Isaiah Bradley gained peak human abilities. He was able to lift 800 pounds with little effort, run 30 miles an hour. He had enhanced durability, healing, and senses. He also enjoyed decreased aging. Isaiah Bradley did many missions for the US government, but he was called the Black Captain America for the last mission he took. He was asked to go to Germany and assassinate a scientist that was working on a Nazi version of the super serum. Isaiah stole a Captain America uniform and set off on his mission. He ended up achieving his goal and blowing up the facility where the experiment was going on. But he got captured in the process. A German soldier managed to trap him and a few other civilians, colored and Jewish people, who Isaiah saved from the experiments. They were trapped in a gas chamber. Only Isaiah survived. When he woke, Hitler was in front of him, offering Isaiah a deal, conditional on Isaiah's willingness to switch sides. He told Isaiah that Nazis had no problems with the blacks, which was an obvious lie, but Isaiah refused his offer. As he was getting transported to another camp, the truck was attacked, and Isaiah was freed. Thinking all was well, he went back to America, but as soon as he reached home soil, he was arrested. Because despite that he accomplished his mission, he stole one of Captain America's uniforms, and for this, they sentenced Isaiah to life in prison. While in prison, Isaiah's wife sent letters to the American president. She did this every month for 17 years until they finally let Isaiah out. Sadly, that 17 years was more than enough to do damage to Isaiah. While in jail, Isaiah was not given access to medical treatment, and thus he wasn't getting checkups and regulating the serum in his blood. The imperfect serum started to deteriorate his mind, and soon we discover it also left him sterile. Scared, but out of prison, Isaiah got to live free for the rest of his life. Sadly, the American government buried Isaiah's story, and he and all his achievements were stricken from the records of history. His story became a legend in the black community and amongst black superheroes. Isaiah was even invited to the wedding of Storm and Black Panther. Isaiah eventually met Steve Rogers, who didn't know of him or his story at first, but they became friends. And Steve even managed to get back the costume that Isaiah originally took, giving it to him and telling him that he really deserves it. Isaiah's family is also rich with superheroics. He has a son who became a superhero named Justice, who was made by the American government. It's a strange story I may get to, so stay tuned. And he also has a grandson who goes by the name Patriot, and he's one of the founders of the Young Avengers. And that is Isaiah Bradley. I really like this character. When I first found out there was a Black Captain America, when I was in high school, and I was hype about it. I even dressed up as him for my first fan expo when I was like 14, 15. It was great. It's a really cool character, and he looks dope. So, yeah, that was Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America. I hope you enjoyed, and everyone have a good day. Peace.